Good day to you, one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. I'm home in my YouTube studio, which I seldom am these days. Been doing, well, this has actually been full of darkness. It's been our most busy summer of festivals in our whole career, and in between that we're trying to make a record, so I'm obliged to be elsewhere in the world and not here doing this, which makes it quite difficult to run the channel, because I think a lot of, being a successful YouTuber requires a certain sort of promptness when some sort of musical event occurs. I'm supposed to be here reacting to it in a timely fashion, so that the algorithm goes, oh right, this bloke's talking about it, let's push this one out. But I'm not able to do that, and I'm not that interested in doing it in that way either. I think this channel should be about the things that I enjoy talking about and stuff that I love. So recently I've been listening to the Lemon Twigs, specifically the new album that they did called A Dream Is All We Know. And there's a song on there called Church Bells that I'm going to analyse and talk about and celebrate, really, because I think this is an amazing band. And even if like nobody but one person watches this episode, then that one person, I hope, will be grateful, because these guys are amazing musicians and really sophisticated songwriters and arrangers as well. So I'm going to talk about this song, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. Justin Hawkins rides again. 12-string again. Quite dramatic, that. All right, so the Lemon Twigs, Church Bells, from the album A Dream Is All We Know. Church Bells is the third track on the Lemon Twigs' latest album, A Dream Is All We Know, which came out in May. It's been described as a fabulous pop confection that magically transports the listener to the idyll of Abbey Road Studios in 1966, if the Beatles were actually two brothers in their mid-20s from Long Island, New York. Those brothers are the elder Brian and the younger Michael D'Addario, whose musical influences are rooted in the 60s and 70s and include the Beach Boys, the Beatles, the Monkees and Todd Rundgren, who they've actually collaborated with in the past. I love Todd Rundgren. I think he was... I love his early stuff, and I also think that some of his sort of insights into how the music industry was to change turned out to be spot on. He is actually the first guy that said that music would become a service as opposed to a product, and you can't argue with what he said. Harnessing the sounds of the 60s and 70s in their own songs prompted one critic to observe that the Lemon Twigs have often been dangerously close to cosplay, which I don't think is fair, really. I think they're continuing... I mean, yeah, you can say that the sound is sort of retrospective or whatever, but it's actually continuing a tradition, really. If you consider pop to be a type of folk music, then that's what they're doing. Like their previous work, A Dream Is All We Know, their fifth studio album has been recorded on analog tape. And speaking with fans on Reddit, the brothers explained that this time it was also mixed entirely analog, so it was quite a different process. There was also more heavy compression in the initial tracking of this record and no chamber reverb. Lots of things that make a big difference. It's actually difficult to find tape in the first place. I remember we did the second album, Second Darkness album, all on tape as well, and we had to buy all of the tape that existed at that time. So chances are the Lemon Twigs are probably recording over that Second Darkness album or some of the unused tapery from there. Anyway, I have covered a Lemon Twigs song. I think it was called As Long As We're Together, and it had a brilliant video of them with a sort of concept car in a desert somewhere, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. So let's play the song and then we'll talk about how cool it is. Okay. Another thing I love about the Lemon Twigs is, this obviously they haven't made a video for this, so all we're seeing is like a pack shot of the album cover itself. And there's something in the way they approach their album covers that reminds me a little bit of Sparks. Just a cool, crudely photographed image. The lighting is really off. There's something sort of otherworldly about it. And one of them's upside down, so there's that too. Okay. There's all these in the drum part itself. There's some skipped beats. So how would that? I'm going to just try and count the bars on that. I'm not very good at this sort of thing, but I'd give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 3, 4. Clever stuff, isn't it? And it's sort of natural as well. And the drums accent every new bar with a little skip just to give you a clue as to what to do dancing wise. So many beautiful people. When I first heard this, I was kind of like, oh, that's a really sort of naive melody. But there's so much more to it than that. So many wonderful people, but this is the one I love. So many beautiful people, but you're who I'm thinking of. But you're who I'm thinking of. Ring, ring goes the bell. The church bell. I'm going to do a little bit of air drumming, but I'm only going to do the ride cymbal, which I have it about here for this, because it's quite an important part of it. And there's a little crash here, watch. Ring goes the bell. The church bells. It's just brilliant. I mean, it sort of goes into a big band sort of swingy time just for that one little moment. And there's the 12 string. So it's kind of like a G to B minor, E, C, G, D, something like that anyway. But I'm completely out of tune because I haven't tuned that 12 string for 100 years. And I'm not going to start now. Why change the habit of a century? But this one I hold above. Ring, ring goes the bell. Okay, so the drums there in that ring, ring goes the bell part, which is where it sort of goes to that swingy big band stuff. The first time it's dim, 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 kish. And I think the second time it's dim, 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 dim. So they developed the arrangement even in something as simple as the ride part, just to keep it interesting. And also to sort of, I suppose it's to signpost whereabouts you are in the arrangement so you know what's coming next. Ring, ring goes the bell. The church bells are jamming on It's a lovely bit of guitar playing here and an awesome string arrangement as well. Like there's a string quartet over here somewhere. It kind of sounds like a mandolin, but it might be a 12 string, I'm not sure. And that guitar part that was really prominent after the first chorus, which is, simple pentatonic stuff, but with that skip beat, it's a really cool part, and he sings along with it in the second one, so the guitar itself becomes less prominent in the mix. Into an amazing middle eight section. $1 a day, don't get carried away, don't get eaten alive. It's a really awesome cello part. So I don't know, there's something really iconic about the way they've approached the string arrangement. I know it's a string quartet stuff, but ordinarily you'd have, if you were mixing an orchestra, you'd have, I think the bass is over there, the high, two of the violin parts over there, and it would be super symphonic, violas somewhere around the middle, and the spread would be the thing that impresses you. But on here, because it's only a quartet, they're able to have like the cello over this side, and then during the course of it go do-do-do-do, they pan it across. So when you've got headphones on, it's a lovely immersive moment that pulls you into the next section. And here's the bit that took my breath away the first time I listened to it. If you listen to it, If you listen to basically any modern music that's mixed in such a linear way that there's hardly any sort of room for dynamics, and most of the time that's because bands want to have their songs, or bands and artists want to have their songs competitive on the radio. So it's got to be loud, it's got to be sweetened, which means, you know, overall compression and loudness, perceived loudness, super impressive. So it hits you in the face when it comes on the radio. But here, it's all pretty reserved until this moment when a huge bank of beautifully arranged harmonies come in, and they're getting away with murder with how much of the mix they occupy. And it's, for me, when you hear that kind of approach to multi-tracked vocals being mixed, it's breathtaking. And I literally gasped when I heard it for the first time. Listen to this. And then a lovely brass arrangement as well. This song's got everything. And now we're going to go into the ring goes the bell. And I'd love to. So the first drum bit was a dim dim dim, and then the second one was dim dim dim. So what's this going to be? Ring goes the bell. Dim da 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 da. It just never stops giving. This song's only 2 minutes and 6 seconds long, and there's no fat on it at all. It's absolutely the most protein-rich piece of songwriting I've heard for a really long time. I love these guys. And the other thing I was going to say was, having done that impressive kind of breathtaking bit just after the middle 8 section, there's a chorus here where they don't do it, and they resist the urge to sort of, you know, once you've heard something like that, I think if you're making a pop record, like most of the time you go, oh, that's amazing, it's a hook, let's do it again and again and again. But they don't do that. They go back to like a more simple but still brilliant vocal arrangement, and it's sort of reduced and exactly the right thing for the song, exactly the right thing for the journey, you know, as a listener. It's just, this is a piece of perfection. And if I was hearing this for the first time, I'd probably be crying a little bit. When I first heard it, it really did choke me up because it's just so fucking good. And you can hear the dun 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 dun. I'm not sure if that's how you hold a... No, it's probably... I don't know how to hold a violin, viola, or a cello, but they're sort of pumping dun, 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 like that build that happens at the very top of the song, but it's done on bowed instruments rather, and it's exactly what you want to hear. This is fucking awesome. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, for me, it's the best thing I've heard for ages and ages. I would say earlier in the year I posted something about the Idols' Tank, and I was saying that is the album to beat. I put it to you that the Lemon Twigs, A Dream Is All We Know, might now be the album to beat this year. And let's try and get them some more of an audience. They deserve it. I think you're going to have to use the comment section below to tell me if you agree with me. But for me, there aren't many people out there writing songs as brilliant as that. So yeah, let's celebrate the Lemon Twigs. Just got an email right when I was going to sing the thing. I'm sure it's nothing important. Justin Hawkins rides again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, watch one of these 2 videos, and listen to the music of the Lemon Twigs and let me know what you think of it. I think they're fucking amazing, but I might have mentioned that earlier. All right, cheers. Oh, see you on the ice. That's it. Okay.